An old farmer's horse ran away. Everyone said it was terrible luck. He said, "We'll see." The horse returned with 3 wild horses. Everyone said it was wonderful luck. He said, "We'll see." What happened next will change how you see everything. Many years ago, there was an old farmer who lived in a small village. He was not a wealthy man. He owned a small plot of land that he worked with his own hands, aided by his only son and a single horse. The horse was strong and valuable, essential for plowing the fields, hauling supplies, maintaining their modest livelihood. In that time and place, a good horse meant survival. The farmer and his son lived simply, worked hard, and kept to themselves. Their neighbors knew them as quiet, steady people who neither complained about hardship nor celebrated good fortune with much fanfare. One morning, the farmer woke to discover that his horse had broken through the fence during the night and run away. The neighbors came to visit, as neighbors do. They shook their heads with sympathy. "Such terrible luck," they said. "How unfortunate! What will you do without your horse? This is very bad for you." The old farmer listened to their condolences. Then he said simply, "We'll see." The neighbors looked at each other, confused. How could he not see that this was clearly bad luck? But the farmer returned to his work without further comment. The very next morning, the farmer's son woke him with news the horse had returned, and it had brought 3 wild horses with it. Now they had 4 horses instead of 1. The neighbors rushed over again, this time with congratulations. "How wonderful!" they exclaimed. "What incredible fortune! You've lost 1 horse and gained 3. You're blessed. This is very good luck." The old farmer looked at his 4 horses and said, "We'll see." Again, the neighbors were puzzled. Clearly this was good fortune. Why wouldn't he celebrate? The following day, the farmer's son tried to tame one of the wild horses so they could be trained for work. But the horse was powerful and untamed. It reared up suddenly, throwing the young man off. He fell hard and broke his leg. The neighbors came again, now with sympathy and concern. "Such bad luck," they cried. "Your son is injured and cannot help you with the harvest. The very horses that seemed like a blessing have brought misfortune. This is terrible." The old farmer helped his son into the house, tended to his leg, and made him comfortable. Then he said to the neighbors, "We'll see." The very next day, military officials came to the village. A war had broken out in a distant province. The army was drafting all able-bodied young men to serve as soldiers. The officials went from house to house, taking sons away from their families. It was a time of great sorrow in the village. Many of these young men would not return. When the officials came to the farmer's home and saw that his son's leg was badly broken, they passed him by. A young man who could not walk could not fight. The neighbors gathered once more, now with a different kind of understanding dawning in their eyes. "What fortune," they said quietly. "Your son is spared. What seemed like a tragedy has saved him from war. This is truly good luck." The farmer watched the soldiers march away with the village's young men. He looked at his son, recovering slowly but safely at home. "We'll see," he said. And, of course, we'll see. This story endures because it teaches us something we constantly forget. We rush to judgment about everything. We label events as good or bad, fortune or disaster, blessing or curse, all based on incomplete information and our limited perspective. The horse running away seemed like pure misfortune, until it wasn't. The horse's returning seemed like pure blessing, until it wasn't. The son's broken leg seemed like tragedy, until it wasn't. What appears as disaster in this moment may be providence we cannot yet perceive. What seems like wonderful luck may lead to unforeseen difficulty. The farmer's wisdom isn't in knowing which is which. That's impossible. His wisdom is in holding his judgments lightly, staying present to what is, and trusting that he cannot see the full pattern from where he stands. We'll see is not passivity. It's not resignation. It's profound acceptance of uncertainty and the release of the need to control the narrative of our lives. We all have moments when we are certain something is the worst thing that could happen, or the best. The job we lost, the relationship that ended, the opportunity we missed, the diagnosis we received, the plan that fell apart. We suffer twice, once from the event itself, and again from the story we tell ourselves about how terrible it is and what it means for our future. Or we celebrate prematurely, certain that this success, this acquisition, this achievement will finally make us happy, only to discover new problems we couldn't have anticipated. The farmer invites us to hold it all more lightly. When something bad happens, we'll see. When something good happens, we'll see. Not because we shouldn't care, but because we acknowledge that we don't know where this thread leads in the larger tapestry of our lives. This isn't about becoming cold or detached. It's about becoming less reactive, less attached to our judgments, more present to what is actually happening rather than the story we're telling about what's happening. Life is long. Events that seemed catastrophic often become the very things that redirect us towards something better. Blessings often carry hidden complications we couldn't foresee. The farmer knew something we forget. The story isn't finished. It never is. Not until the very end. So when life throws you something unexpected, whether it looks like fortune or misfortune, perhaps you can channel the old farmer's wisdom. Take a breath, stay present, and say with genuine openness, "We'll see." If this story shifted your perspective, subscribe for weekly wisdom stories. I share ancient teachings like this that challenge how you think and invite you to see with fresh eyes. What in your life right now might you approach with "will see" instead of certainty? Share your thoughts below. We'll see what tomorrow brings.